For 700 years, scribes across the Rus lands kept writing, through invasions, collapsing kingdoms and rulers who wanted history silenced. Then Ivan the Terrible ended it. But one tradition slipped through, surviving in a form no one expected, and when you see exactly how, it will completely reframe what you think preservation means. For 700 years, from the 11th century to the 18th, scribes across the Rus lands wrote it all down without stopping. Kiev, Novgorod, Galicia, Volhynia, the Lithuanian borderlands. Each center developed its own voice. Novgorod's chronicles carried traces of a dialect, so distinct it reads like a different world. The Belarusian-Lithuanian chronicles were composed in early Ruthenian, a literary language that no one speaks today, preserved nowhere else so completely. And in Ukraine, as Cossack and Polish power collided, the old chronicle tradition quietly transformed into something shaped by Renaissance historiography, by classical models, by an entirely new way of understanding the past. The tradition kept breathing, changing form, changing language, changing hands, but never quite dying. But one ruler was about to prove that even a 700-year tradition could be switched off almost overnight. Ivan the Terrible, that's your answer. In the mid-16th century, one czar didn't just discourage chronicle writing, he made it obsolete. 700 years of unbroken historical record, from Kiev to Novgorod to the frozen scriptoria of Belarus, and one reign was enough to end it. Not with fire, not with executions. Simply by replacing it, swapping living, breathing chronicles for rigid Byzantine-style chronographs that answered to the state, not to history. The voice that had survived the Mongols, survived fragmentation, survived the slow death of entire dialects, silenced. Muscovy went quiet. But here's what nobody tells you. That silencing didn't reach everywhere equally. Some corners of the tradition kept moving, transformed. Yes, unrecognizable in places. And the strangest part is where that silenced voice would end up resurfacing. Here is where the promise pays off. That silenced voice resurfaced in the last place anyone would have looked, not in Muscovy, not in the old chronicle halls of Kiev or Novgorod, but in the war-torn borderlands of 16th and 17th century Ukraine, caught between the Cossack hetmanate and the Polish, Lithuanian Commonwealth. 7 centuries of continuous chronicle writing from the 11th to the 18th centuries, and it was political chaos, not scholarship, that kept the flame alive. The Cossacks needed their own history urgently, and they built it from whatever survived. What emerged were the Cossack chronicles, the eyewitness, the Hrabianka, the Velichko, shaped now by Polish Renaissance historiography, modeled on classical histories. The old East Slavic voice wore entirely new clothes. Though the real twist is what those new Cossack scribes were actually hiding inside their borrowed foreign form. Here is the payoff. Those Cossack scribes dressed their chronicles in Polish Renaissance style. Yes, borrowed the elegant Latin-influenced structure, the classical framing, the rhetoric of European historiography. But crack open the eyewitness chronicle, the Hrabianka, the Velichko, and beneath that foreign architecture you find something older, something stubbornly alive. The memories, the grievances, the identity of a people who had been writing their own story continuously since the 11th century, 700 unbroken years, were still breathing inside. Ivan the Terrible had effectively silenced Muscovy's chronicle tradition in the mid-16th century. But Ukraine's Cossack scribes kept the voice going, hidden inside a form their censors never thought to search. The disguise was the survival. And that is how one tradition outlasted 5 centuries of erasure. One scribe's tradition outlasted an empire's silence, not by fighting back, but by becoming something else entirely. 700 years of chronicle writing didn't vanish, it transformed. And if you think preservation means survival in plain sight, this story just proved you wrong. If this reframed how you see history, subscribe, because there are more hidden survivals waiting. If you found this fascinating, subscribe to Oddly Significant, where forgotten history comes back to life.